Still with us is Yannick Naud, Portfolio Manager at Glendevan King Asset Management. Stock du jour, Twitter.
Yes.
Well done. You got the valuation, just like Goldman's at 26 bucks.
Yeah.
Would you buy it? Do you think clients are going to come in and buy it? It's safe. It's a safe trade?
Well, obviously it's a very difficult animal to analyze because there's no earnings, so there's no price-earning ratio. In terms of price to sell, it's more expensive than LinkedIn, Yelp, Facebook. So
would you buy it, Yannick? Would you buy it?
I had a valuation of 26. I was calculating it by estimating that given the audience, the growth of the audience, they should be able within 10 years to grab 5% market share of the global advertising market, the online advertising market. And if they stick to 40% margin, EBITDA margin, which is what the CFOs target, you get $26. So I think it's a reasonable pricing.
Okay.
If we look at last week, for example, IPO, we had Criteo, which was introduced at 31, jumped to 45, and now stabilized around 34. So we could have this same kind of pattern, an immediate jump above 33, and after that a stabilization, much lower than that, but maybe closer to 26.
The long way to say yes. I know, I'm putting words in your mouth. Let's talk about Siemens. We've got a new CEO,
yes.
Joe Kaiser, in there. It's about margins, it's about
yes.
Calming people down in the business and doing a €4 billion buyback. Can it get to the operational level of ABB or GE?
Well, Siemens always struggled with profitability. I think they have 60 or more than 60 subunits. They are in every kind of business. I think the next strategy for Siemens is to make sure they focus on what they're good at.
What needs to be dropped then? What does Kaiser need to get rid of?
Oh, there's a lot of, there's in transportation, and there's so many, there's so many subsidiaries that, the list will be very, very long. Having said that, you have to recognize the fact that I think it's the first time in almost 5 years that we didn't have a profit warning again. So, it's a clean set of results. It's a very good achievement, I think, for this new CEO. The pressure now is for him to achieve better margin and probably sell business.
Let's stay with Germany. Commerzbank, a great deal of discussion around capital for all of the European banks.
Yes.
Now, these guys delivered a better set of numbers on the fact they didn't pay as much tax.
Yes.
I looked at their domestic business, and you're seeing operating profits drop by nearly 50%. Yeah. Loan losses are rising, and, this stock's having a nice run. It's trading at €10. What do you think?
Well, I think, Commerzbank is a bit of a dark horse. It's off the radar of a lot of analysts. The expectations are very low. You're pointing out that the activity, the activity is not fantastic, but they're doing okay. They're beating estimate when Crédit Agricole and SocGen are missing estimate. And you have to keep in mind that so far Commerzbank has not been linked to any kind of legal problem, whether it's the Euribor or the LIBOR. So if you manage to save $1 billion of legal cost, it's another $1 billion for your profit.
Well, let's just talk about that because we got SocGen as well. Let's just have a look at those prices. SocGen and Crédit Agricole, yes. Both this morning. So they're going to do a deal on yes. UEdge. But if you look at the SocGen numbers, again, litigation,
yes.
Non-performing loans, you're talking about over €1 billion here.
Yes.
Is the overhang, where's the worst litigious overhang? Is it in France? Is it in Germany? Is it in the UK? In terms of those banks?
Well, historically speaking, French bank always been a bit shielded by the regulator or the watchdog, because the relationship between the regulator and the bank has been much more cozy than what you saw in Switzerland or in UK. Things are changing because from 2014, the ECB will be in charge of regulating French bank. So we might see a shift in terms of capital, cost of capital, in terms of regulatory capital, and in terms of legal cost. All in all, I have no idea if it's a good thing to settle the Euribor claim, as SocGen seems to be doing, versus Crédit Agricole. It's their call. All in all, you have to keep in mind that we're talking about very, very big number for banks.
Absolutely. I want to move to running shoes. Adidas, income down, stocks trading higher this morning, things are getting better at Reebok. If you have to choose, between Adidas and Nike for the portfolio, which one should it be?
Yeah, I mean, the sport business is a duopoly. It is only Adidas and Nike. I mean, there's Puma, but they're much smaller. If you look at valuation alone, there is a gap of valuation around 29% between Adidas and Nike. So even though, historically speaking, Adidas always grow a bit lower than Nike, I think we could see Adidas coming back to their long-term average discount, which is around 16-17%. So they might be 10% in the stock versus Nike.
Okay, Yannick, we're going to leave it there. I think we covered a lot of ground, as always, at a fair pace. Yannick Naud, Portfolio Manager at Glendevan King Asset Management. Thank you so much for being with us.